All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the case that has been on my iPhone now for a couple days. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. This case I was late getting for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And when I got it in, it basically took over my daily case. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. We are talking about the Torras Q3 Air. Now, no, I'm not sponsored by Torras or anything like that. Good gracious, my hand is ashy as I don't know what. But let's get back to the case. No, I'm not sponsored with them. I went on Amazon, bought this with my hard-earned money. In this case, let me go ahead and give you the price point up front. We talking about $65 for this. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, this case, it was a late bloomer for the 16 series. Now, whether it has been out for a while, I don't know. But when I got it for the 16, loved it. 17 Pro Max, had to get it because this case just finds a way to stay on my phone. So let's just go ahead and take it off. First of all, we talking about with the case on. Let's just go ahead and take it off. So when it comes to the Torras Q3 Air, it does some things phenomenal. And I really like this case because it really checks all the boxes and I want in a case, and there really isn't much that I can say I want to improve about this case. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, this case is going to be a one-piece design. Now, I know when you look at this case, it looks like it has a lot going on. And it does, but in my opinion, that's in a good way. Look, I really got to get some damn lotion. And that's in a good way. So the first thing that you're going to see is one thing that I love. It's going to be a frosted case. You can see this nice little frost going on up here. If that is your thing. Hey, real quick, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb because look, it's about to start blowing up. All right, let me turn that on. So you're going to get that nice frosted. Two things. Second thing, you're going to get a nice kickstand. You guys know we love a good kickstand. That's something that I love when it's there. It gets out the way and it's there when I need it. And that's exactly what Torras does really well with this kickstand. Next, it's going to give you these nice airbags. All right, if you got a little fresh pair of Air Maxes, y'all know what I'm talking about with the Air Max bubble. This is basically what that reminds you of is when it comes to this drop protection. You're going to have these nice bumpers going on the front two sides of it. Feels really good. On the inside, going to give you that MagSafe. On the outside, it's going to give you this nice little grip area right here, which is very underrated. Doesn't do too much, but I feel like it does just enough when it comes to the grip. And you're going to have buttons, and they do also give you interchangeable buttons to where you can swap these out for different colors. I just simply left this orange look in here because I like the breakup of when it comes to the colors. Now, this one is going to be called, I think, Shadow Black. They have about 5 different colorways that you can choose from, and they have a colorway to match whatever Pro model iPhone that you have, whether you have the blue, cosmic orange, or this silver. They're going to have a colorway to match whatever that you have. So let's go ahead and bring the scale over here, and I'm already telling you right now, I believe this case is going to be one that's going to be a little chunky monkey, but let's go ahead and try it out anyway. Dropping the case on the actual scale, we're looking at 52 grams. So we already know, man, when you cross that 50, you talking about a big boy case. Let's go ahead and grab that 17 Pro Max and let's snap it in. Let's see what the I was struggling there. We didn't get that smack that I wanted to, but it's up there. Dropping it down with this combination, we are looking at 300, basically 300 grams. That's going to be a chunky boy, okay? But it's okay because it's what do I expect with this case because there's a lot that comes along with it. Now, let's go ahead and see everything that has going on with it. Starting off with that late on the tail protection. I am running a tempered glass screen protector, but even with that little lip, it still has a tiny lip that goes all the way around it. Now, with the case, that's as protective as this. Would I have liked to see a bigger lip? I would have, but this case is still good enough. I have dropped this case before, not for the 17 series, but for the 16, and it has been just fine. So you do get a little lip that goes around, and you can actually feel that lip. It's not super raised, but guess what? It's there. Flipping over on the back, you're going to get your standard protection when you're talking about that camera plateau. As you can see, it is going to be open, and that's basically it. And dropping it down, if you want to wobble, you're not really going to get any wobble when it comes to this case. So good job with the lip protection. Would I like to see more? I probably would, but it's not a deal breaker. Now, how does this case fit on the phone? And this is one thing that the Q3 Air for the 16 series did very well. Listen, it's here. It's back again for the 17 series, and it also does it really well. Starting off with the top right here, no pull. You barely get any pull there. Coming along the sides, not much of anything as you see going along the sides. Over here on the bottom, just fine when you're talking about being on the bottom. And when you're talking about doing a little snap, let's see what okay, decent little snap there. We got another one. Kind of popped on real fast. Nice little snap there, and good little snap there. So you get some pretty good snaps going all the way around it, but I'm here to tell you, man, when this case is on this phone, you are talking about an extremely tight fit, and that's one thing that I love about the Q3 Air. It's one thing that keeps me drawn to this actual case. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the buttons because the buttons are something that works really good, all right? They're gonna be plastic buttons, so you don't get any aluminum or anything like that. You're talking about plastic. So let's just go ahead and test it out. So Nice and tactile action. Power. Very good when it comes to the power. I'm over here trying to call 911 or trying to open my wallet up. But last thing, let's go ahead and test that camera control. And let's just look at the camera control button over here. Very nice looking button, very smooth. Just like I stated, man, this case, if you're looking for a minimal case, this case probably ain't gonna be the one for you because it does have a lot going on. But just trying this case out, as you can see, your controls are very smooth, very fluent, not a single issue when it comes to camera control. So very good job when it comes to the Torras Q3 Air with all of the button situation. Now, how does this case feel in your hand? Now, this case is going to keep that rounded feel in your hand. I know a lot of us, so many of us love the way this thing feels when you're talking about it rounded. This case does not square things up. It is indeed going to keep that round feel in your hand. And in my opinion, yes, it might bulk things up just a tad bit, but there's other cases out there that gives this phone and this case combo a much boxier feeling. The Torras Q3 Air is not one of those. It's going to keep that round form factor. I don't think it bulked things up too much, but guess what? You have a Pro Max and you got it in your hand. Of course, it's going to feel a little big, but in my opinion, I think this case feels good. When you're talking about the subtle grips on the side, and when I'm talking about subtle, I'm talking about very subtle. It does a decent job when you're talking about holding it. This frosted back can get a little bit slippery. And talking about the frosted back, it can get a little bit smudgy, but that's something that you can just hit with your shoulder, hit it like that, and all of your smudges and everything is going away. This actually wipes off very good. So holding it in hand, I've never had an issue with it. It's just going to feel substantial because guess what? You have a big phone anyway, so it's going to feel like you have a lot going on when you're talking about this case. Now, real quick, talking about that kickstand, it's going to be one that you can rotate along this little single pivot, but it's going to work just fine. I use kickstands all the time when I'm in my office, whether you're doing that, whether you're taking a call, or you can prop it up like this. Whatever you want to do when it comes to the kickstand, it's going to be a very sturdy kickstand. Torras makes excellent kickstand cases, and it's going to be no different when it comes to this. There's nothing like having a kickstand on your phone, no matter whether I'm doing whatever I'm doing. This kickstand comes in clutch. Whether my son is out watching my phone, we go out to eat or something like that, the kickstand always comes in clutch. And guess what? If you don't use it, it's back there, it's out your way. You don't even feel it. You don't even see it. Well, you see it, but you don't really feel it when you're talking about that. Now, let's go ahead and bring MagSafe over because we're talking about the MagSafe. Now, it's always a little weird testing MagSafe when we're talking about kickstands because it does fit a little bit different. But dropping down on MagSafe, you already see what time it is. And picking it up, you see it doesn't have the strongest magnet. If it's one thing that I would like to see improved, but it's not a deal breaker, is I wish it did have a slightly stronger magnet because it is picking up this base and it is dropping this base. But that doesn't mean that this thing is weak. I've been using this for the past week, and guess what? It works just fine. In my car, on my chargers by my bedside, it works just fine, and you don't have a single issue with it when you're talking about in that case. Now, let's go ahead and get your wallet. And different things like this can be a little bit tricky when we're talking about kickstands because you tend to get a little bit more movement when it comes to kickstands. But as you can see, your wallet is going to move ever so slightly, and that's because this frosted really has a hard time with friction when you talk about holding things in. So it's going to be a little bit of movement when you're talking about this kickstand, but it's not the end of the world. If you had to use this with the MagSafe wallet, I think you could use it, and I think you'll be just fine. Now let's go ahead and get that charger, popping it on, and just doing kind of a light shake test. As you can see, that's light. Medium. Oh, oh. All right, so medium shake, you kind of really have to shake it violently. And I'm actually about to change my shake test up. We're about to get some machines in here so we can test that pull and get an actual number of Newton's force. I think that's the name of it. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But overall, great MagSafe strength. It's fine for your everyday use of just normally using MagSafe. You'll be just fine. You will not have a problem. So the Torras Q3 Air, I love this case, man, simply because it feels good in your hands. It gives you nice drop protection when it comes to the corners and everything like that. Checking out the cutouts here down below, you see you get your cutouts and you get your Type-C, so that's fine there. And now one thing that a lot of people complain about is they say it's a little bit sharp on your pinky when it comes to this area. I mean, it is, but it isn't a deal breaker to me when we're talking about this case. I feel like it feels pretty good. Doesn't bulk things up too much, gives you protection, gives you that kickstand, gives you nice clicky buttons, and I think you can have a different color. It looks dope. I have a lot of people who ask me like, hey, what case is that? That looks like a cool case. I just was in the Apple store yesterday, and that's exactly what somebody said. He's like, yo, what case is that with the orange buttons? And it just looked like it has a lot of cool stuff going on, and it does. But not only does it look cool, it also checks all the boxes that I like when it comes to a case. Now, the price point sitting at $65, yeah, That's a little bit steep, but guess what, man? Everybody that I know who bought this case, they actually like it, and it does a pretty good job. So check it out, man. Torras Q3 Air. This case always finds a way to just stay on my phone and end up being there for a very long time because it has all the features that I need in a great case. So check it out, man. But also, if you want to check out some of my favorite accessories for the 17 Pro Max, I will be sure to leave that video right here.